We have another question. Can you talk about dementia?
We realize that this has been a question that has been asked quite a bit. And the reluctance from us to answer this question is because it's so complex. And in this particular forum, but we gave an answer, but there's 50 answers to the same question. Nothing is standard when it comes to dementia. There are some things that occur in most, and what happens is that there becomes a deterioration in the biology that the soul is aware of, and the soul very much wants to try to keep the connection going. It comes from deterioration of the brain tissue as the body ages. That's where it comes from, in most cases. Again, there's no standard answer here. It could be a very advanced soul that just created the moment because they wanted to study it. So, if you're wanting to help someone with dementia, you have to understand that they are still the omnipotent energy that they were when they first came in. They were able to channel it through, so to speak, the biology for a very long time. And then suddenly that starts to become a little thick and dense for them. And they start having the, quote, the dementia moments. And Alzheimer's is another branch of that. It goes in a little bit different direction. The best way to help them is to know that on a soulful level, they still know you, they still realize what's happening to them, but they're having a really hard time moving the energy through the brain pattern to speak and remember things. It's like the door keeps opening and closing, and they can't get the stability they need to be like they were before. We'd say when you're dealing with them, realize that they do know. It's just really hard for them to move through the deterioration to be able to speak. They do hear you. If you're talking to them, even if they look at you blankly or if they're looking off into space, their soulful energy still hears you. And you can be of great help and comfort to them by doing so. This deterioration is a sad one. It happens for a multitude of different reasons. So we can't say, oh, it was heavy metals that this is. Oh, it was this that did that. It's just like all of you are also very different. This disease goes in a lot of different ways. So we can't have a standard answer to the question. But if we were to talk about each one of the energies individually, we could go back and say, okay, here's where it happened, here's what started to deteriorate, and here's how it can be helped. But in the forum like this, if we give an answer and say this is the answer, then it doesn't encompass everybody. And so we just want to make sure, we'll talk about this some more, but we want to make sure that everyone understands that it's so individualistic and everybody's story is a little bit different. We say the best across-the-board way to handle this is to continue to talk to them like they're still there. Being able to, come through and have some moments. Because by talking to them and acknowledging to them that you understand what they're going through, that will help them so they won't feel embarrassed to say if they try to make a stab at communicating with you and fail miserably. So we'd say let each individual have their own process, but also understand that you're talking to them, they do get it. They do hear you. It's just that the brain isn't working in the mechanical sense for them to be able to respond to you, and they often look confused or distressed about the reality because they go, where am I? What am I doing here? I mean, the in and out of such a disease is devastating. So we'll continue to talk about it. We will go back through some of the questions, but we wanted to set the pattern here or the standard that none of this is standard, that everyone's experience is slightly different. So what we would say for one person could be vastly different for another one. So in the future, we will answer questions on this, but we wanted to preface it this day with how unstandard it all is. So there's no across-the-board answer to say, okay, this is what you do for everyone, because all of you are so different. Do you understand? Yes, because they do hear you. It's just that they can't turn the question around in their head and say, okay, here's the answer. But they hear it.
Yeah.
And they know that you care about them, and they know that you are communicating with them. It's just their communication system is, malfunctioning a bit. You need to love them and know them as they are. And that is they're still Aunt Mary, they're still Mom, but they're having some difficulties in communication. And it's a deterioration, and the deterioration can start with 100 different things. It isn't just one thing that causes it. And that's why it's so hard to define in the linear. But a little bit to chew on, and then we can start answering some of the questions, but with the concept that it's not standard. Very individualistic. And that's the beauty of being able to come into physical reality. And yeah, you're all in the same bodies. All of you have hands. All of you have feet. All of you have eyes, nose, mouth. But all of your experiences are vastly different. It'd be hard to find two that were even remotely close. Because everybody's got different stuff and different energy in them.